everyone. So as from my video earlier, I was ad-libbing it. I pretty much ad-lib all my videos. Sister got me some cookies. She's a good sister. Anyways, part 3 of the final season. Season 4. Final season, part 4, part 3.
Stop it.
That's my lovely brother-in-law. Okay, so season 4, part 3. Episode 1, the final season, part 3. That's already been talked about quite a bit. But, all I can say is I equated it to basically Shakespeare writing his masterpiece, or Da Vinci finishing up the Mona Lisa. And then it's you have someone just come in and not finish it for him, just like a little kindergarten kid just comes in and just finishes the painting and just takes a big swab of red paint, just latches it right on there, right where the Mona Lisa's nose is. Does any of it make sense to any of you out there? How this all went down and ended? It doesn't to me.
You charge your phone in case power goes out. Yeah, charge it.
The cultural implications in this whole ending is I really do think there is a cultural thing here, because how many animes and manga have ended terribly, just terribly? I know Marvel and DC have been behind the ball when it comes to manga, and that's why manga is taking over the whole United States market, North American market. I understand that. But at least Marvel and DC get their shit done and do it correctly and do it well. When it comes to manga, they do not do it well. They do not get it right, and it's almost like a middle finger to the fans that have been supporting the IPs and supporting all the creators and these studios. I don't know. Got 2 people. Hello, guys. What do you think? Did you see AOE? Did you see the opening? It confirms it, right? AOE is not happening. We are it's just like you see it coming now. The manga readers, the manga readers that have seen it, you see it coming. It's coming, and it's like seeing a plane crash. You see it coming, and you can't keep your eyes from not looking at it. It's gonna hit. I've given up. Dragon Ball Z had a very... Yeah, I believe that. The details will help. Like the Colossal Titans. Did we see anything happen to the Colossal Titans in the manga? Like Aaron gets his head cut off, and you see the Worm-kun just dissolve, and all the Eldians dissolve into humans again, and everyone's fine and dandy. Even their clothes reattached to him, like Eric Bana in the first Hulk movie back in 2003. It's not officially dead, but think about it. I mean, the intro shows Mikasa reaching forward and taking Aaron's head, and the song is referring to the tree, under the tree. That's where Mikasa's going. She's going under the tree at the end. I mean, what more do you need to see? What more do you need to yeah, it's like 90% sure that AOE is not happening. Aaron eyes are open the trailer and the manga is closed. Yeah, I mean, copium to some degree. Maybe you got a couple kilos of it right now versus a few milligrams. I don't know, a teaspoon or two. Yeah, I don't know. In the manga, he was. Look, it's hard for me because I spent 9-10 years. I'm an oldie. I'm in my 30s now, and that's why I'm so into this. And you see an old guy doing this, me, because this series has been around more than 10 years, and every season was fantastic. Maybe its lowest points were the Rebellion arc, but even that was pretty good, really good, even with Kenny Ackerman and Levi. But then season 4, it like reveals that this is all about racism, and it's all about just the persecution of these people, that are it became, instead of like this regular shonen story, it became this huge alternate universe World War II Jewish concentration camp shit. It's pretty spectacular shit. I gotta hand it to Izuyama. It's the armband shit, the concentration camps. I mean, even the Marleyan soldiers looked like, to some extent, German guards. It's quite amazing. Sorry, I see a lot of Young Guggy, is that you? Sorry if I'm butchering your name there. You're typing a lot here. I'm kind of going on a tangent. Mikasa's tattoo. Huh. So you're thinking that AOE is still a possibility. Am I reading this right? All right, let's theoretically say that it is a possibility. Let's say it theoretically is. I mean, they're already animating Levi shooting Aaron's colossal titan form in the teeth with a rocket. They're animating that. So it would literally be all the way up to 138, what you're saying, and then it changes. And I don't know how much it would change. Would you have a complete rumbling or a complete rumbling, or they defeat him still? Still have Falco's meaning because he literally has memories of the scout. I'll ask for areas for Aaron's finish the rumbling. That is all I want. We don't give much change. Have the whole ED dictated to him. Let me ask you guys, what did you think about the animation with Hanji going out? Speaking of which, that song that plays when she attacks the Colossal Titans, I predicted that song 2 years ago, that would be the song. You can go to the song there and you can see my my YouTube name there and click on it and see it. I people are like calling me Nostradamus. It was crazy.
That should be a new web name.
Yeah, I agree. I think AOE was not even a real possibility, to be honest. The content was done. It's easier for the animators to just go page for page. I'm not sure who up here was saying it. I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Would we all agree that Aaron winning and everybody dying would be the best conclusion? Does he even necessarily need to be the father of Historia's child? I don't think so. I mean, I would have liked that child to have some freaking significance, because they show the panel right when the rumbling's at. They show her giving birth, and then you go to the rumbling and you see it's. What was the point of that panel? What was the point of the panel? And it looks like they cut it out in the anime. I haven't watched the anime, believe it or not. I haven't at all. It has to be Historia's father, because it would mean that he did everything. Yeah, that's what I mean. And wasn't Aaron acting strange all throughout season 4? Like, he seemed like his mind was on something else the whole time. It really seemed like it was building to that. Like, the secret was he was in love with Historia, or maybe not necessarily in love with her, but to have the child with her so they can save her from having to eat Zeke. Then it turns into this whole, like, what was the point of Historia in any of this? If that's why I think, and I understand, the safer route for Izuyama at that point was this series has gotten too huge. It's gotten too big. I have to roll back the nihilistic destruction of my characters, because I love my characters more than I love my overall narrative of my story now. That's what I sincerely believe, and I believe the publication was like, people love these. Like, Levi should have went down. If not in the forest when Zeke summons screams and his entire squad comes down raining from the trees, that would have been a good spot for Levi to die right there. Levi dying when he kills Zeke. Have one of the ghost or one of those other Titans that come from that Aaron summons, kill him. Yeah, she should have died. I mean, I do love the moment. The only part in 139 that I liked was when Levi was doing the salute to the ghost. That was only, and him dying right there would have been great too. And seeing Sasha, when I saw Sasha say goodbye to Connie and John, am I the only one that felt like that should have just been John, and it should have been Connie and Sasha saluting him, and that Connie should have died back in Paradise during the whole pier fight? It really feel like Connie should have died there. And if they were going to do the whole thing at the end, that it should have been Sasha and Connie saluting John. Not just not just Sasha, because Sasha already died. They already said their goodbyes. Then to have her just do that, it didn't impact me as much as it should have. John should have died during the Titan War on Aaron. If anyone in that trio was supposed to live or be the last one to die, it should have been John. What proves AOE is dead? It's not necessarily dead, but it's, I mean, the intro Mikasa reaching for Aaron's head, pulling it. And if any indication from the previous season 4, what was it? Season 4, part 2, that intro, they had a lot more spoilerish stuff going on. I mean, don't get me wrong. Do any of you really think we needed Aaron to win for it to be good? An alliance win could have been just as good. Just keep Aaron straightforward. Tatakai, not Tataka. Tatakai, not Tataka. Tatakai, not Tataka. You know, that's... Aaron should have went down in flames. If he was going to lose, have him stick to his character development as the villain, and that's it. Don't turn him into this weird martyr good guy. Oh, by the way, he killed billions of people. Let's forget about that. Let me ask you this, though. Guggy, I'll just call you Guggy. Let me ask you this, though. Would you rather had an Aaron loss, but he stays straightforward, or this ending? My point is that Aaron still could have lost, but it could have been a lot better how he lost. You could have had a few of the Alliance members dying. You could have had Annie's father dying. You could have, I don't know, something. You could have had Gabby or Falco dying. I don't know, Gabby. You could have had Gabby falling off the Falco or something. I don't know. Look. Is there any real reason for them to go against canon in the manga? Is there any reason for them to go against it? The manga is done. There's no reason for them to divert that much. And believe it or not, I don't think it's not like a huge majority of people disagreed with the ending. I think it's more like 50-50. You can tell me what the math is. How much of the Western audience disagreed with it or hated this ending? I'd say it's around 50-50 or 60-40. 60-40 for the ending. Because you got a lot of people that thought the ending was just fine. I didn't like it. And that's fine. You can like the ending all you want. You can. But where did you see that, Guggy? 60% hated? I don't know. I think we're in the minority. That's what you said, so that's just your speculation. I think it's more the opposite, and that's speculation on my part. But, you know, it obviously wasn't enough to make Kodansha or Izuyama be like, okay, we need to pull back here, we need to breathe, and we need to change this. It's nothing like that. It'd be something unprecedented. I've never heard of. Correct me if you ever heard of an anime that actually changed course because of the ending was so bad. I've never heard of that. Has anyone ever heard of that? No, I don't think so. I think people also notice how I talk about Naruto a lot because that's literally the only other series that I've paid that much more attention to it was Naruto. And but Naruto was really getting bad a lot later, or a lot earlier, I should say, in the manga. Maybe a full arc bad. It was just like the Titanic, slowly sinking like a son of a bitch, and then breaking in. You know what the breaking in half point was for me in Naruto is when Kakashi summoned Susanoo. When Kakashi summoned Susanoo from Obito in this. Oh my! I'm sorry, I'm getting off AOT right now, but that's. You're really on that, Guggy. You really think AOE is going to happen? You legitimately do, don't you? I don't. I don't see it. I don't see the logic in it. Why would they? You get anyone else to type here except for Guggy? Sorry, I don't see it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Dylan. I watched that intro and I'm like, that's it. It was very revealing. Man, have you ever seen that much spoilers in an intro? What the hell? Holy crap, dudes. Like at 1:30, I'm surprised how nobody died, including the main. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nobody died. It was so anime. And you know it was even more anime? Summoning all the past shifters to help Armin out. It's so stupid. I don't know about you guys, but it's snowing like a son of a bitch over here in the north here. Got about 7 inches of snow out there. I even saw some lightning. I don't think it's going to be just direct manga. We've already seen that. It's not going to be a direct manga because we're going to see what happens to the Colossal Titans. We'll probably get more detail with the worm dying. There's going to be some dialogue tweaking, I hope. And it can help. It can help, but I don't know if it's going to be any good. I'm not sure why you like the ending, Dylan. It's, to each his own, but dude, I don't see how anyone could have liked that ending. It's a mess. A total mess. No, I'm not going to read all your stuff, dude. Sorry. I'm not. I can understand where you're coming from in some regards, but I seriously don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, it's an hour-long movie, right? So how many episodes we got, guys? What is it, 2? Because we're already, this one episode went a really long way. I was like, whoa, you already got Reiner tackling 3 episodes? Okay. They already got a lot. All right. There's 3 cores. Core part 3 is 2 1-hour episodes. Okay, cool. Thanks, Dylan, for that info. 3-4, huh? Let me give a round of applause to Mappa, by the way. These guys work their asses off for our entertainment, and I'm assuming a lot of them don't really get paid as much as they probably should. Working tooth and nail to bring us fantastic animation, and they've gotten better. They've gotten a lot better. I mean, compare this from Aaron's Liberio attack and his Attack Titan form to now. It's better, and we're going to be seeing more and more of Mappa just get better and better, and the future of animation is going to go through them probably, I would think. So hats off to Mappa. Now, an alliance win. I want to go back to this a little bit. I want to circle back to an alliance win. I think a good alliance win would be maybe 2 or 3 surviving members. Armin, Mikasa. Oh, wait, no. Let's have Annie, Reiner, and Mikasa be the only survivors from the alliance. Mikasa deals the final blow. Mikasa gets rid of the scarf, and she rids herself of her love for Eren. She has a touching, not a romantic, but a touching moment with John before he dies. And that's that. 80% of the world is destroyed. Eren was killed. I think that would have been better than how Eren ended up losing in canon. What do you guys think? Yeah, I guess, but Eren killing Armin would be really huge in the manga. Very huge, or anime, I should say. Or both. It's because it's his best friend, and it would just be something, I don't know, it would just be a very horrifying and sad moment, really. I don't think he has to be alive. It could be anyone narrating. I can see where you're coming from, Guggy, but, that's the point. I think they did. This is why Izuyama made the story the way he did, is for a spinoff. Oh, my God. You don't need Boruto for this. Whoa. You don't need Boruto for this. You can still make spin-offs. You can still make prequels. There was a whole other world with Helios and the past Titan Shifters and the Dark Ages. That would be pretty freaking badass, really, I think. You didn't need the sequels to line up with some random kid in the future exploring a vegetated, abandoned, destroyed parody to do this. To do a sequel. I'm gonna have to leave. I'm gonna have to leave soon, guys.
No, you don't.
Well, I guess I don't. I could stick around a little longer. 15 viewers. That surprises me. Hello, everybody. Hope you all are having a nice night, keeping warm. Enjoying your Friday night, listening to me rant. We're all fans here, so we can all agree to disagree or disagree. It's all cool. Gonna be in all night, snowing like a sumbitch outside.
Snowing like crazy.
Snowing like crazy. That's my sister, if you can hear her.
Beautiful. Got a fire going. Had a nice fish dinner.
And another interesting thing too, when you got, yeah, Dylan, it'd be interesting is why not make a alternate anime or alternate story, and you can animate it where Erwin gets the serum instead of Armin. I'd watch that. It'd be pretty sweet. would he be pro rumbling? Would Erwin be pro rumbling, or would he be pro alliance? Would he, how would Aaron be? Would he be even worse? Would he be better? I'm assuming Aaron would be a lot more brooding and sad because he lost his best friend. But no, I would definitely watch a Attack on Titan alternate. And you could call it Attack on Titan alternate, and it's just Erwin instead of Armin. If I was John, I would stayed on the island. Yeah, John can hang out with what's her face, Hitch, because Hitch the whole time when this war's going on, she's probably at a picnic table getting drunk or drinking cider with all the guys eating pie, right? Armin and Hitch get hitched, right? They fall in love because they like the same pie. Interesting. I don't know if Erwin was like I don't know if Erwin was too OP intelligent wise to not cause problems for the story to continue in a different route and be interesting. I still think it would have been an interesting still would have been interesting to see him do something, if he would have lived. And I think they could have written as long as all the manga chapters with him instead of Armin. Honestly, I think Erwin probably would have aligned with Aaron, but I don't know if he'd be necessarily pro rumbling. Which makes an interesting story. Have Erwin align with Erwin align with Aaron, but Aaron lies to Erwin, and him and Flotch plot against Erwin, and it comes down between Erwin and Aaron, with Levi stuck in the middle of it. See, it makes for interesting alternates and interesting what ifs that could have been possibly better than what we got with Armin. I wouldn't mind seeing an Attack on Titan alternate. That's what I was just saying. That'd be cool. So, it's been a heck of a ride, but I'm happy. I'm happy that AOT. I'm happy I read it. I'm happy I got into it. Even some family members who absolutely hate anime thought it was interesting at first, at least on my end. And that show seemed to have some effect on people. Like, it was really drawing people that were outside the anime and manga sphere into it because it was such a unique story. Never mind anime, even though Aaron was displaying a lot of, anime-esque protagonist traits, Then season 4 comes along, or the end of, or ever since he kisses Historia's hand, right? It's he becomes a totally different person. Well, apparently not, because I don't want that. I want her to love me. Right. Night, Dylan. Have a good weekend. These cookies are fantastic, by the way. They're Girl Scout cookies. I'm not sure what. I think they're peanut butter.
The new type.
The new type.
Adventure Bowls.
I'm not that angry. I was angry when I did my rant videos. The one that got 28,000 views or something. I didn't expect that to happen, but when I did it, but I got that. Yeah, but you can interpret any intro to anything. The what's it called when lights go out? The song when the song when Erwin is charging the suicide charge. I've heard some people think that's Mikasa's. That implies more to Mikasa than it does to Historia, even though yeah, it sounds like Historia more to me than anything else. Yeah, GC. That I was actually thinking that could have happened. I was thinking there was a possibility that Mikasa was going to turn on the Alliance because she was so conflicted, and I was thinking maybe Jean would have been one of her victims. She kills Jean or something, and I've been like, "What? Holy crap!" That would have been a shocking, awesome moment, to be honest. But no, everyone was able to get their cake and eat it. Apparently, Eren was a genocidal maniac killing billions of people, but he's a hero and a nice guy. How does that work? It doesn't. It doesn't work. Mikasa needed to kill Eren. She just needed to kill Eren. How it happened was terrible. You cut his head off and then you make out with his head. Yeah, that was a great idea. What should have happened, she should have discarded the scarf and did a 180, finally came around and said, I'm done with him. He's going down. I'm killing him. That would have been real growth for Mikasa. But it didn't happen. In fact, she's stuck on the guy the rest of her life, even though she has kids with another guy. Doesn't John deserve better than to have his wife hooked up on someone else? You know, marry Peak. Support cart and horse, right? Peak was just as beautiful as Mikasa, if not prettier. And, you know, they could have hooked up and she would have loved him as much as he or him instead of marrying the chick that's stuck on a dead guy, you know, even into her old age. Yeah, she technically never really got over Eren. She kept the scarf. It's implied heavily that she didn't get over Eren. The very last panels, what's it like 1 or 2 years after the rumbling, and you see her under the tree with his, and she's all depressed, sad. I mean, what the fuck? It's like, Izayama, why do you hate this girl so much? you do this, you won't free her from this guy. And then you have to have the dumb bird toss the freaking scarf over her shoulder, and it's like, it's stupid. Let her move on. Let her move on. Have her throw away the scarf. Attack him. Tatakai herself. I can only assume that Attack on Titan No Requiem, that team, they're going to be motivated big time. I know it's taking them long, but, you know, give them a break. They're not getting paid to do this, people. It's all their free time, and they're giving us a godsend from God himself onto us to please the fans. A&R. Look, AOE isn't totally dead, but I'm like, I really don't know. I think it's about 90%. I'm 95% sure AOE is not happening. Unless it's the, if it's the, if it's the Warhammer Titan theory, where Eren is still on Paradise, and then he initiates the rumbling through Historia's child's birth, and then he holds the baby, and then it reinitiates, and that's the only AOE possibility I think happening. But you know, nah, I don't think. I really don't see it happening. That would be, yeah, Como. That would be interesting. I would have Reiner survive. An alliance win. How I would do the alliance win, I've already stated it earlier. It would be 2 or 3 alliance members surviving. One is Mikasa, and the other 2 would be maybe Annie and Reiner. And I think that would be a good conclusion for Reiner, that he's the one who's wanted to die for the longest time, nearly commits suicide. You know, he wanted to die, and then he finds a will to live, you know, through his friends and comrades that end up dying to save the world. You know, that would be a pretty cool way to conclude Reiner's story in that theoretical, if the alliance win, you know, with Eren staying like Eren instead of Tataka Eren. I'm not necessarily that crazy about the whole Warhammer theory, and I thought it was going to happen in the manga. It's not my favorite theory, but still would have been better than this horse crap. Yes, I gotta admit, I was getting a little emotional watching that today. That clip where Hanji dies, I was getting emotional watching it. Mappa, really, you guys are fantastic. Love you. I know you're gonna produce shit for us because, you know, the writers didn't know what the hell they were doing in the last chapter, but fantastic stuff. I mean, the rumbling destruction and just the people panicking and stuff, the people crying, and oh my god, how can you like Eren after that? That's another thing that's driving me nuts. You see that happen, and then we're going to see the Alliance. Oh, what a wonderful guy. No, he's not a wonderful guy. Coming of age and growing up, and then friends becoming foes. That's the route they were going to go, and tend to be like, oh, I was really your friend the whole time. By the way, I killed billions of people for your sake, according to Armin. And that's the thing too about the Warhammer GC is you see Eren use it very little. I mean, a couple times I think with the battle in Shiganshia with Porco and Reiner. That's the only time you see him really do anything with the Warhammer. It wasn't a lot. So was the Warhammer even really that relevant? Didn't seem like it to me. Hope you guys are keeping warm if you're in the northern part of the United States, like I am. Holy crap, is it snowing like a son of a bitch. I'm surprised more anime don't do a licensing or a royalty spin-offs and then have anime make it like that. Animes make that. There's so many alternate takes of Dragon Ball Z I would have liked to have seen. You see a lot of those in the Budokai games, the alternate what ifs and all that. Like, why don't they animate some of this stuff? They're really cool ideas. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Piss Blood. It's like, what was the point of the Warhammer in the end? And what was the point of the baby outside of saving Historia from eating Zeke? What was the point? What was the point of showing those panels of her giving birth during the rumbling? What was the point? Also would have liked to have seen some of the Warhammer's armor or its design kind of meld with the Attack Titan. And maybe AOTNR will do that. I hope Kay Lionheart does that with her team, with AOTNR. Show Attack Titan Aaron with some characteristics of the Warhammer on him. I've never seen a fan manga or a doujinshi hype me as much as that series does. That's how much I'm starving for Akino ending. Yeah. The problem with the Colossal Titan, of course, is how freaking slow it is. I mean, could he have used that? Could Armin have used? Could Armin have used a Colossal Titan's power at the pier where the Jaegers were holding up? But the Ambizito or whatever, the ships, Ambizito, he could have destroyed those ships. So I guess he could have turned into the Colossal Titan and swam and had the Alliance on his back while he's backstroking. He could have done that. That would have been funny. Really think about that. Maybe you could have done that. Maybe they didn't need the ship. You just swim, you stay on Armin's back while he backstrokes across the ocean in his Colossal Titan form. Can we all agree that Flotch is the most badass, most awesomely developed character in AOT? He's right up there. He's got to be 1 or 2 in my book. Never have I seen an NPC or background character become such a hard-ass motherfucker. Badass. Love King Flotch. I wish he would have taken out one of the Alliance members, Connie. He should have took out Connie and the Jaegers in the port. That would have made sense to me. You got to give him a kill. You have to give Flotch a kill. I think, Pissblood. I think in the manga, Armin was going to do something with his Colossal Titan forms against the other Colossal Titans, but then Reiner was the one saying, no, you're too important. We can't have you risk your life. And then he was going to do something, and then Hanji's like, no, I'll do something. And I mean, and it makes sense to preserve the bomb, which is the Colossal Titan, for Eren. So I don't know if I necessarily agree with what you're saying there. They needed Armin alive, and they needed. By the way, did we even see a Titan shifter die in the series? I don't think we did, because the idea of a Titan shifter dying without passing it over was the Titan power goes to a child, and we never got to see that. It was like some other plot point they didn't go anywhere with. Again, it just didn't. This ending didn't feel right. As for Zeke dying, I'm not a big fan of how Zeke went out in the end. And I'm not happy about how Levi ended up killing him. I would have liked to have seen Levi grow away from that. Not thinking it would be necessary to take out Zeke, but that's just my personal opinion. You guys can disagree with me or not. It's up to you, but yeah, that's just how I feel about with Zeke and Levi. Yeah, it doesn't make sense, Pissblood, that the rumbling would stop if Zeke died, because Ymir became free from the bloodline when Eren was there. So why would Zeke even matter at that point? When he's screaming at, yeah, exactly. When she didn't follow Zeke's order, it seemed like Ymir became free and was working in cohesion with Eren, and that was that. It shouldn't have been the bloodline, the king's blood and connection should have been mute at that point. In fact, when that came up in the manga, I was kind of expecting Zeke to get killed and then the rumbling keep going, and then have the alliance be like, "Whoa, what the fuck? Why isn't it stopping?" You know. Yeah, going back to what this video is titled, the AOE I think is dead. It's not happening. If it were to happen, it would be, I don't even know if they could execute it that properly in the end, because like I said, outside of Fullmetal Alchemist, when the manga wasn't done and they finished with Dante and all that, the whole other different storyline with it, all the other manga, like it seemed like without panels and stuff, they really struggled with filler. And I'm not sure if that's a budgetary thing. I'm assuming they can make storyboards to do a different way of doing it, but let's admit it, we're not in like a 90 or 80% majority here wanting a different ending. I mean, you have a good amount of people that like the ending and would be pissed if the ending was changed. FMAB did, it nearly had a perfect ending. I'll give Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood a 9.5 out of 10, or 9 out of 10. It was fantastic stuff. Only thing I would have changed is I would have made King Bradley the main villain. I love me some King Bradley. I love me some Wrath. If there's any way I want to go out dying, I want my arms getting blown off, well, I take a sword and put it in my mouth and stab the guy that blew my arms off. Nothing gets more badass than that. How much of you actually liked Historia more than Mikasa? I did. I ended up liking Historia a lot more than Mikasa because Mikasa just didn't grow. And I was waiting for that grow moment for a long time, even until at chapter 139, where I thought the grown up moment would have happened. The scarf gets tossed. It didn't happen. Who should have been a couple? Yeah. It made sense to the narrative and what they were building up with the baby and Aaron and the panels with her. How would you feel if I had a child? You know, like, yeah, like the clues were there and everything. And, you know, the whole, I mean, Historia's best friend name was Ymir. Ymir needed to be free. She has a baby girl. She's going to name the baby girl Ymir, and it's going to be a reincarnation from Ymir. Aaron holds baby Ymir after the world is completely destroyed and his friends are dead, and he's holding her at the seaside, looking, thinking of his friends and Armin especially, and he says, last panel, like we were told years before, you are free. Boom, masterpiece, Mona Lisa, Hamlet, right there. Like my rant video, Hamlet is right there. The Super Bowl is on the line. You're on the 2-yard line. You have 3 downs, 3 timeouts in the overtime. All you have to do is run the ball. You're not going to Seahawk this shit. You're not going to put Lynch in. Just run it in. Give us that ending. Give us the ending that makes me cry for the good reasons. That makes me cry for the good reasons. Yes, I do. I do think Izuyama changed the ending. I think he even said he did. He said he saw how popular his series was getting, and then it was. And then he's just like, you know, maybe I shouldn't go in this kind of this nihilistic route where I kill all these people that are loved by a bunch of people. And it could have been, 2 things could have been true at once. He could have felt that way, and his editors were like, we can't do this. You know, I like Mikasa, or I like, you know, Piek and Connie and stuff. Connie shouldn't have been there. Connie felt so. What was Connie's arc? What was his story arc that was so important that he ends up where he goes? He should have died in the Jaegerist attack. That's where Connie should have went down. I'm surprised nobody's talking about the Connie stuff as much. Because that's where it felt weird to me. Like, he was the weirdest character of all. Outside of Mikasa's lack of growth, it was Connie's presence. Connie's presence didn't feel natural to me. It didn't feel organic. It felt like an empty shell. It felt like an empty pizza box. If that makes any sense. AOE will happen with Attack on Titan or Requiem. You can be sure of that. And they actually have a studio, animation studio, making episodes of that. I don't know what the high quality is going to be from it, but damn, you know, I've never seen anything like that. Thank you, Kay Lionheart and AOT and our team. Give you that. You keep talking about Aaron's eyes open. What is with the Aaron's eyes open stuff? That doesn't mean shit. That's the problem with Connie. After the whole, and oh my God, how bad of a little side story was that? Taking Falco to his mom, and then Armin willing to jump into his mom's Titan mouth. It was so dumb. That was the first signs I was seeing. All right, I'm not really liking what I'm seeing here. What's going on? This whole shit with Connie and his mother and Falco. That was, geez. People are mad. They're making AOT. It's toxic and disrespectful. Who cares if it's disrespectful? You think Izayama cares if anything's disrespectful towards his regular work while he's sitting in his sauna counting his millions of dollars in his bank account? He doesn't give a shit. In fact, he encourages fan work. He's made it. He's gotten over millions of fans. Multi-millionaire. Thank you. Fiji. All right, no. Glacier itself. If his feelings are hurt, then he's got some priorities to look at in his life. You know how many mangaka would kill to have his success? So fuck him. I don't care about his feelings. He's fine. If I remember, what's his net worth? I can look up his net worth right now. Let's look up Izayama's net worth, people, and you can look it up too. And I bet you have, because I do this dumb shit all the time. Still looking. Richest mangaka, top 10. Yeah, he's definitely in there. Izayama net worth, 10 richest manga artists, 45 to 46 million. 45 to 46 million dollars he's worth. And people are worried about disrespect and his feelings. And like I said in my previous video today, when I was talking about Izayama and all this, I understand the move he did for this series and wanted to build up for a sequel series. It's to make to expand the IP and to expand the story into a sequel. He's going to give it to someone else, and they're going to make money, and there's going to be royalty checks coming in the mail to him for the rest of his life. Bam. Business standpoint, capitalist mind I have, yeah, I understand it. I still think your masterpiece was ruined because of it. Be like Leonardo da Vinci saying, well, I got to fix Mona Lisa's nose, and I'll put a little green mustache here because I know the entire world likes green mustaches. It's still going to look like shit, but I'm going to make a lot more money. I actually liked seeing Lionheart take control. Because his character was hinted at for so long, and you see how much of a hard ass Annie is, and then you see how much of a hard ass he is and a badass, and he is a badass. Lionheart is a bad mofo. Look what he did. He trained his daughter, his adopted daughter, into being a badass that rivals Ackerman genes. So yeah, I really liked Leonard. Now, do I think he should have died for Annie's character to come full circle and to have her pay for her sins in a weird meta way? Yeah, I would have liked that, but no, I have no problems with Lionheart stealing the train and everything because he was a badass. Look at Aaron's discussion when Aaron talks about that scenery. I don't know about that. The thing is, Armin's talk no jutsu, it didn't work on Aaron because Aaron already had his mind made up. I'm gonna unite everybody against my ass, even though earlier in the was a Battle of Trost, he said how dumb that was. Oh, it's just so frustrating. I just want to puke. If anyone's wondering who's behind me, that's my sister. Yes, it's bad. I've been talking about it for over an hour. You know, it's going over my head. Tried to wrap my head around it. Tried to deal with it. See it from other people's points of view, but I still hate it. I'll never like the Game of Thrones ending or that season per se. I can't like it. It's bad. It's just bad. If it's bad, it's bad. If it's good, it's good.
Terrible.
Stuff can be mediocre, but when it's bad, it's bad. It's good, it's good. And let me picture your favorite cake. It's baking. You've seen it. It's the most beautiful cake you've ever seen. And you see the frosting getting added to it. You've seen the sprinkles and the strawberries and whipped cream on top and all that. You're seeing that. Yeah, it's looking great. You're going to just love eating that shit when it's done. Yeah, and it's your birthday. And then your birthday shows up and, the cake's right in front of you. And then all of a sudden you start eating the cake and that's the end. And then you find out, oh, there's that's not frosting. That's bird shit that you're eating. The cake looked fantastic right until the end, and then you found out it's bird shit. It still makes it bad and bird shit. You can't really look at the cake the same way or think of it the same way because you're eating bird shit, not frosting. I never thought AOE was going to happen either. Yes and no. I think AOE. It would have been one chapter they would need to have changed to make it better. They're not going to do it though. It wouldn't have been that much content to really change up. And what's the point? You've still got half of the fan base, if not a majority of this fan base, a small majority of the fan base that like the ending. That like that Eren and Mikasa are canon. Are they though? They don't end up together. Well, Eren's living in Mikasa's head for the rest of her life, that poor woman. My God. Did she name her son Eren? Ugh. I maybe I didn't pay attention that well after Return to Shangin-Shina arc. What is the significance of her tattoo? Her being Ackerman? Was she royalty or something? I don't remember that being any significance. Again, it seemed like they're trying to set up some things for Mikasa, and maybe the editor was going like this, looking at maybe the editor was looking at Izuyama and did this. He went, "Hey, I ship Eren and Mikasa. Keep her obsessed with him for good because I ship them." Jacko, I really don't think we are, but if it did happen, it'd be kind of cool. I mean, I'm like, fuck it at this point. I got AOTNR. I'm happy. I would be legitimately devastated if Kay Lionheart stopped for whatever reason, but she's not. She says she's going to complete it. I'm happy with that. I'm content. Yes, he did, but then there were people that didn't. But you got to realize Izuyama is kind of a... I don't know if he really does seem like a guy that battled depression in his life. I mean, let's face it, a lot of these mangaka are kind of quirky, especially the Chainsaw Man mangaka. That guy's got some fucking problems. The shit I heard him talk about and stuff, but I think he would have been overly critical of himself no matter what. That's just the type of guy Izuyama is. I mean, even if he really felt remorse for the ending, you know, I don't see him having a lot of control over this. Like I said, if his editors may have pushed this, the publications may have pushed this too, because they're thinking about their own pocketbooks and continuing the IP. And if that's the real reason, if Izuyama comes out and says this is why it was changed because the publication wanted me to keep the IP on a different, build an IP up with a different story and a sequel, it doesn't make sense to me. You had other avenues to go. The Helios, the rise of the Eldian Empire. That could have been its own anime series there. You could have had Helios manga or anime. Doesn't make sense to me. That's what if they're for their reasoning. If that's who if they're pushing Izuyama to do something different. When the story got more complex, they suddenly gave her a tattoo. Yeah, they suddenly just gave her a tattoo. Okay, did Levi have one? What's the tattoo? Can someone tell me what this fucking tattoo is? I haven't sit there and watched fully everything. Like I said, I went from season 1 all the way to at the end of season 3. Those are that I paid really a lot of attention to. And no, I'm not a guy that's going to pause and read every little freaking break thing they have there, the huge paragraphs. Fuck that. I don't have time. All I know, Keenan, is that Izuyama said his ending did change out of the popularity of the series. So he was basically fearing, oh shit, I'm going to kill everybody off. I better not, because a lot of people are starting to really like my characters. And if that's the case, then Izuyama doesn't have any balls. It's as simple as that to me. What do you guys think? You think if he changed it because of the popularity of the series and the characters, that he went off on something else because he was afraid he was going to have backlash then? Well, look at the backlash now, Buster. Yeah, that's what I think. I think he is kind of a pansy. If he had a set of nuts on him, he would have ended it properly. Probably. He would have given Mikasa some. Isn't that hilarious? How much of this story actually revolves around Mikasa, ironically and unironically? The lack of her development has caused huge detriments to the ending. And her importance, when it really shouldn't have been as important as it became, shouldn't have happened either. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And like, you can only look so cool for so long until you become boring. We all knew Mikasa was a badass since season 1, and then all of a sudden it kind of gets old after a while. You're doing a bunch of flashy shits, and we're just going to look at you as a flashy killer. There's no development there. Very little development. Fucking Connie had more development than Mikasa. Connie! And he's a far third or fourth second character. She's top 3. She's number 3 in the group. She's not 2. She's 3 in my book. It's Eren and Armin. Armin's really close too, by the way. In fact, I was thinking Armin was the main protagonist. That you could actually see the whole AOT through his eyes. Mikasa is the third wheel in the trio. I'm sorry. And I don't necessarily hate her as much. I just hate her lack of development. And you know what, Dark Blade? The frustrating thing with her is she could have had a huge development in the last chapter. even after the little, oh, I want to go back. Oh, it could have been okay. Have that scene and then have her take the scarf and throw it and then say, all right, motherfucker, I'm taking you out. And then have her awaken again and she becomes zippity razor blade style up Aaron's arm and takes him out. That would have been an awesome. That's all you needed for Mikasa. But no, it wasn't that. It was, lovingly looking at him with my tears in my eyes as I glide towards him and I cut his head off from the colossal titan body and then I make out with his head. Oh! And then I have a ghost behind me smiling. Like, what the fuck? How much more badass it would have been. She drills through Aaron's teeth with her blades, and she comes in screaming. Ah! And then Aaron is like summoning little pokers, like from the with Warhammer Titan power. With Warhammer Titan power, and he's freaking out, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And her eyes are like disappearing and turning into demonic. And then she's like, "Gotcha, motherfucker," and cuts his head off. That would have been badass. Yes and no. I mean, a good ending for Aaron is him staying with along with his character development. If he just would have stayed the villain, if he didn't do the Lelouch shit, and he was 100% committed to the rumbling, no matter who got in his way, Armin or anyone, then he wins in my book. Aaron goes down as the GOAT in manga as a character. He's the GOAT. We saw GOAT status right before us. GOAT status. Never mind Guts from Berserk. Aaron Yeager, pre 139, he's the GOAT. Vegeta, not even close. Goku, forget about it. Kanema, no way. Aaron Yeager, pre 139, he's the GOAT. He went from GOAT status to simping. Shit, I wouldn't even put him above Naruto. And Naruto's a pretty fucking bad character in my mind. Oh my God, it's frustrating. You see it. It's right in front of your face. Anti-John Cena. I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. Yeah, I've read the manga, of course. Three timelines, I think three potential timelines and potential endings, but they're going to go with the manga ending for sure. They're going to add a couple details. Like, you're going to actually see what happens to the Colossal Titans instead of like, well, what happened? Maybe you'll actually get the worm. You'll see what happens to the worm. This episode today, I wonder if any of you would agree that this is peak. This is the high water mark. If the Southern Confederate, if the Confederacy's high water mark was Pickett's charge, then AOT's high water mark is this chapter where Hanji dies. That's the high watermark. Even though I saw some problems beforehand, this was a high watermark. The way she goes out, it felt so AOT what she did. Fantastic. What a great character. Fucking love Hanji. Absolutely love her. Fantastic character. Eren crying for Mikasa even though he didn't care. No, he cared for her, but not in a romantic way. Yeah, true, but you got to also think about all the Eldians are partying and getting drunk that are Jaegerists on Paradise right now. It shows the dark side of humanity. You don't have empathy for not seeing what you're seeing, and it's getting me a little bit emotionally thinking about it. Like, here we are. Look what we're doing right now. We're chatting online here, and I don't know if any of you know anybody from Ukraine or in Syria or Turkey. Here we are just shooting the shit, having a good time, bitching about a fucking fictional story while there's real people suffering and dying. Like, really dying, suffering. Makes you think a little bit. I don't know if Eren was flat out showing romantic feelings towards Historia. He did compliment her. It was very friendly with her, but it felt like more of like a friendly friend going on. But I can see a little bit of... They definitely had a lot more chemistry than he did with Mikasa, for sure. And that's the writer's fault. That's the writers for making Mikasa so into Eren the way he did. Yeah, that's true. That weird little back and forth there. It's like with Historia, you know, what do you think about me having a child? And then it goes to Mikasa. It's almost like Izuyama was trying to get the shippers to start button heads a little bit over what the fuck was happening. Because you can interpret it in a couple of ways what was going on. I guess it was for Mikasa, even though whatever the fuck. Look. People are not going to give up their ship. I don't mind Eren hooking up with Mikasa as long as it makes sense to the overall story and narrative, and it didn't. Everything was pointing towards Historia. Everything. It's like all the planets aligning into an eclipse for Historia and Eren to become canon. And him to become, you know, king or whatever. It just didn't work. And probably the biggest reason why is because Mikasa was actually supposed to just be a friend or a sisterly figure towards Eren. And that's how Eren kind of treated her, like a sister, like a motherly figure. And in fact, it was getting a lot more annoyed with her instead of showing love or promise. I don't know if Historia was gay. She's obviously bisexual. She's either bisexual or straight. She's not just full-blown gay. Historia is not full-blown gay. yes, I would say, if anything, she was either bi or straight. You can make an argument for both, but who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck. I don't know, Z. Where did you see a lot of AOE stuff? I didn't see it. I saw a lot of canon stuff. Can we change the subject on that? I don't want to talk about Historia's sexuality or anyone's sexuality. It doesn't have any bearings to the story overall. Who gives a fuck? Yeah, I didn't see any AOE stuff, Mr. Mission. In fact, I saw the opposite. I was seeing a lot of canonical stuff. Canonical. Oh, I keep talking about his eyes being open. What's the significance of that? How does that prove anything? Look, I'm not arguing for the canon ending. I hate the canon ending. I hate it with a passion. Watch my rant video if none of you believe me. Watch my rant video. I'm trying to be realistic here. AOE, I think, has at most maybe 8 or 10% chance of happening at this point. What? Armin in the manga didn't jump out. Yeah, he did. He jumped out. He jumps. He's the first one to jump out in the manga. Or maybe not the first one, but he definitely jumps out with the group. What's it matter if AOE actually does happen? Or what's it matter if the AOE doesn't happen? You got AOTNR. It's as good as it's going to get. They have fantastic illustrators and they have a dedicated team. Nothing really feels out of place, and it looks like a legit different timeline, storyline. I'm happy with it. Am I frustrated about the main story not getting AOE? Yes, I am. Am I always going to talk about how AOT could have been a masterpiece, rivaling Hamlet? Yes. But I'm not going to be totally hooked up on it and coping with it. AOE is a fun idea, but it's probably not going to happen. Mr. Mission, they have lives. They have jobs. AOTNR is not. I don't know how old you are, Mr. Mission, but it takes them a while because they coordinate worldwide and they have illustrators, and it's very hard to stay in the same schedule, especially if you're working full-time jobs. This isn't their job. Izuyama's job was to make a manga, and he had all the hours throughout the week to do it. These guys have a limited amount of time to do it, and they give us good quality. Beggars can't be choosers, Mr. Mission. Enjoy it. I'm enjoying it, and be patient. Yes, it is true. And they're not doing it for any money either. In fact, they're getting pushed back by a lot of people. That would be interesting, reanimating it. Oh, this whole open his eyes. You're killing me. You're killing me. Stop it. I can't do it. Oh. Well, wasn't there an interview with Mappa's lead animator or director? And he was having an interview, and you saw the black marks under his eyes. They looked as dark as the room I'm in right now. Oh my god. Yes, AOE would have been better, a lot better. Anything's better than this shit we're gonna get. I know, dude. Keenan, those bags. I was horrified. I'm like, man, I'm glad I didn't become an animator. He's probably not getting paid as much as you think either. Probably working on 3 or 4 other projects too. Fuck that mess. I like my sleep and my weekends. They kept is it true that they skipped the, hey Z, is it true that they skipped the scene? Is it true that they skipped the cliff scene with the people falling off the cliff and with the baby? Did they really not animate that? If that's true, then it's like, that's one of the, oh my God. I wanted to see that scene. Well, maybe it's going to be in the next episode then, because it's a really big scene. It shows how much of the horrors of the, I mean, we're already seeing the horrors of the rumbling, right? This episode, we do see it. But my God, how powerful is that scene? When I saw that panel with that woman holding that baby up, and you see and she's crying, and everyone around her is crying, and you see the Colossus, and you see the baby in her arms, and it's crying, my heart sank, and I was tearing up when I first saw that. Did any of you tear up when you saw that panel in the manga? Oh my God. And they didn't animate it? Yeah, they should show it, Cuomo. I hope so, because it's such an important and powerful scene. Oh my God. The meaning of AOT is to make Eren and Mikasa shippers happy. That's the meaning of AOT. Eren and Mikasa. And the sad thing about it is, Eren Mikasa shippers can actually make a good argument with the ending. There's no argument with that. They can make a decent argument that AOT, the meaning of AOT was Eren and Mikasa's love. They can make a significantly strong argument for it. Yes and no, they are canon, but they're not, because Eren dies. Pre 138 was AOT was the meaning of AOT pre 139 was sacrifice in my mind. And it was basically sacrifice for freedom. What are you willing to sacrifice for freedom? That's what it was. 139, it became Eren and Mikasa. Yeah, very deep, very very powerful stuff. How about very stupid in my mind? We're going to start arguing here about what timelines and everything. You know, I guess there could be timelines. I mean, shit, the founding Titan was a pretty crazy had some pretty crazy powers and everything. That's why I like kind of going on with AOTNR, looking at that as an alternate timeline. And it seems Izuyama's cool with alternate timelines. Maybe that's a hush hush, wink wink, enjoy, do what you want to do with it, because I know I fucked up, so maybe someone else can make something better and that you can like it. By the way, I'm going to my sauna with my $40 million. I can see argument for timelines too, Jocko. Yeah, the power that Worm Coon dying is going to be the past getting destroyed, right? But Worm Coon isn't dead, right? Because the tree is big again and that kid walks right into there again. Oh, God. I'm going to give us a few more minutes, guys. I'm getting tired and it's getting late. Approaching an hour and 40 minutes here. Hope everyone's happy and healthy and doing well. Too, by the way. It's probably still snowing outside, too. Got this timeline argument going on here, guys. Jeez. I'm going to have to write this down. Am I going to have to get Doc Brown in the background with a whiteboard for these timelines, guys? Jeez. I'm thinking more straightforward, if anything. Oh, my God. Come on, dude. I'd like to think it's that deep, but I really don't think it's that as deep as you think it is. Yes, Piss Blood. Aaron having some type of connection with the Titan power, despite the worm disappearing, doesn't really make sense either. The ending was shit. Can we just all agree that the ending was shit? So many problems. I agree with you, Mr. Mission. I don't. There's alternate, guys. AOTNR. I keep telling you that. And there's two other ones, too, that I know of. There's other alternate endings. If you don't like the ending, write your own ending, too. There's fanfiction.net. Two more minutes, guys. Any closing thoughts or anything? Anything you'd like to cover more on these live streams in the future? I think it's chapter 136 that AOTNR starts. I think. I'm not totally for certain. All right. Good night, Keenan. It's fun, guys. Shrek, I don't know how you like the ending, but go for it. Honestly, I don't. I hated it, but if you like it, you liked it. Cool. Yeah, Piss Blood, that's another good the Aaron Kruger and Aaron Yeager connection. Yeah, where did that go? Oh, sorry, dude. Riviera, I can't go that far. I cannot say I love that ending. I can hardly even look at it without feeling seething rage. Like Hades from the movie Hercules rage. Flame coming out of my ears and eyes and head. Ah! let's be civil, guys. Let's be friendly. Everyone's a little frustrated, I think, but it's all good. All right, guys, I'm going to be getting going here soon. Like I said, anything else? I'm going to be stopping the stream soon. All right. I think I covered a lot. I'm not sure if I missed anything. Maybe I should start making videos on alternate tellings and stuff and start making this a little bit of a YouTube thing, because some YouTubers can actually make YouTube channels just on one subject or one different storylines or different and I'm probably not going to make this too fancy myself, but I don't have any time to do that. I work full time and I'm whatever, just tired of this shit with this story. Tired of all the fucking manga and stories I read and they just turn out to be shit. I'm still bitterly mad about what happened to Sasuke in Naruto, and I'm mad as hell at Izuyama and what he did to the Eren Yeager's character. Anything else, guys? I'm about to end this. I don't have. I'm not as savvy with the computer as I'd like to be. Maybe someone can explain to me how I can maybe actually speak, have a speaker, and just have conversations like this, like how I'm doing right now with other people, instead of having to look at the chat boards and stuff. Sasuke's character was completely and utterly destroyed. And to be as big as a fan as I was of his character development, I don't care if Sasuke took more L's than anybody in a manga history. Just keep his character straight and don't let him end up hooking up with Sakura the way he does and having a kid with her. Stupid. All right, Z, nice seeing you. All right, guys, it's been fun. It's a fun Friday night. If you haven't watched the episode, watch it. Enjoy it. Love seeing the way Hanji goes out. Peak AOT. Feels so much like AOT right there. Everything else is... but enjoy it. It's a fun conversation. Everyone enjoy your weekend, and Justin Fever out. Good night.